This is a historical moment where 12 panels painted by Edvard Munch, which are part of the Freia frieze, are being taken down and being transported to the Munch Museum. What does it mean to bring a work of art that is made for a factory? What does it mean to transfer these paintings into a museum context?
It's so fabulous to be near the character.
Whenever you transfer a work of art from its original context to a museum, which is an artificial space, then you have to bring the context with you. The Freia chocolate factory was a unique context in Norway. The director, Johan Holst, had very strong wishes that his industry made profit at the same time that their workers could have some kind of welfare system. In order for the factory to thrive, the workers every day was very important. They offered manicure to the women twice a month. Now, on the other hand, Edvard Munch, he was very aware that the working class was changing. And he sees decorations and monumental artworks in public space as fundamental because he says that it is the time of the worker and it is about time that art comes to have a place in everybody's lives.
So now we are inside the factory in the canteen and looking at the condition of all the artworks. Centimeter by centimeter, we want to know that the artwork is secure and safe before we can send it off to Bjørvika and Munch. And in this area we have some lifting paint, and this is what we want to secure before we can transport the artworks.
Munch executed 2 public commissions. One is the University Aula in Oslo in 1916, and the other one is the Freia chocolate factory. The official letter from director of the factory, Johan Holst, arrives in April 1922. This is the commission letter where one can see when it was sent, what he got, 80,000 krones. And here it also says that decorations need to be ready by February 1923. The commission was made for an industry. It was made for a chocolate factory. So the people that were actually going to be near his work every day for many, many years to come were workers. And not only workers, there were women workers, because it was specified that the commission was going to go to a women's canteen. These images are from the original canteen in 1923. But there were also sketches for another canteen, which we can assume was for a man's canteen. So here we see workers streaming out of the factory. The sketches for the man's canteen are motifs of workers. Later, Edvard Munch will say that those are the sketches for his worker frieze.
This artwork was in quite an interesting condition when it was found after Munch's death. The same year, 1944, it was winter and they found a ball of ice and snow and some canvas. They decided to take it in and thaw it. And when they unwrapped it, they saw these fragments of sketches for some image. And it turned out to be this artwork, which was a frieze Munch planned for the city of Oslo.
Politically, the labor movement was getting stronger. And this is the first really monumental painting of the workers. And of course, the workers on their way home, this really fantastic painting. Look at this. He has depicted this as a powerful group that you had to reckon with.
It's interesting because Edvard Munch never worked with fresco. If he had done so at the Freia chocolate factory, this operation would be impossible. You would have to destroy the walls to actually bring the paintings into the museum space. But he never went beyond the easel. It's kind of a prophecy. It's as if he knew that one day these paintings were going to be moved and were going to be shown somewhere else.
So now the artworks have been moved from Freia factory to here in Bjørvika in the museum. And we are up in the conservation studios where I will start the treatment. And this painting is called Farvel in Norwegian and is the only one we're going to treat for this exhibition. It has some challenges with lifting paints, and we want to lay them down again and glue them. And let's see, I will look into the area I'm going to treat. And this artwork has hung more than 100 years in the canteen at Freia. This is quite unique when you think about the situation. It's not a museum with stable climate. Between the 50s and 60s, they cleaned twice. And the condition report says it was really, really dark and discolored in a yellow-brownish hue with thick layers of nicotine and dust. And still, the condition is so good, which is quite amazing and surprising. And it's a luxury for us to really dive into the surface and look at phenomena. And when we find a phenomenon of change, I think it's fantastic.
The Freia Frieze's 12 panels, they are all tied by the depiction of a shoreline. When he paints this lushiness, this summer context, and these people living so harmoniously with their environment, while at the same time they are struggling and they are demonstrating in the streets to actually have summer holidays.
Munch was always concerned about that his art should mean something to people. It was important for him to spread his message to as many people as possible.
The history of Edvard Munch and the chocolate factory is actually a story that intertwines his artistic practice with monumental projects, but also the history of chocolate and of women's emancipation. And I think it is very important to bring that story to our audience, to not forget the struggle that older generations have played for us.